Our first review this week is for the brand new movie is The Nun 2, Electric Boogaloo, which we both saw. It wasn't just me. Christine actually came with me to see this. I'm
Well,
still so surprised you
I
actually came
went
with me to see this.
because it's my last Thursday before all the stuff starts with tutoring and cadets and everything. So I actually could go yesterday. But now I'm booked up for until next June on Thursdays. So that's why I went.
But you picked this over going to see Big Fat Greek Wedding 3.
Well, it was timing. I want to see the Greek Wedding one. I'm going to try to see it on the weekend.
So The Nun 2 currently has a 49% Rotten Critics score. That doesn't surprise me at all. Okay? It doesn't have anything for the audience score yet.
Well, I'm going to sum it up. They didn't try too hard with this one. We'll do spoiler free. And then afterwards, there's a couple small things I want to spoil, okay? But this is going to be spoiler free. So tell us what the story was roughly, and what you liked about it without spoiling things, please. A group of women get together, and they do some urban gardening. They plant tomatoes and have a nice goat, and things go horribly wrong. When they hire a drifter, which is always something that women should do, especially when they're running a school, just hire a drifter. And yeah, it just goes sour from there, especially the goat. That's all I can say. And maybe don't set up a school in an abandoned, bombed out building. That's also good advice as well.
You set this up very well. It's the 50s.
It's just dumb.
This is in France, mostly.
Sort of. It's back and forth. It's a bit confusing.
This is post-Second World War, and apparently it's after the first Nun movie.
It's supposed to be 56.
But things were good in Europe. I mean...
It's really post. They should at least have, cleaned up the charred third floor. But of course, they hired a drifter as their handyman. He's not very good at his job. He mostly just stands around drooling. So... what do you expect?
I'm guessing that Christine didn't really enjoy this movie.
I did like one scene. There was some scary stuff, but there was stuff that didn't make a lot of sense. And no one seems to be too upset when people die horribly either. So it's just a bit all over the place.
What can I say about this movie? It's post-war Europe. It's mostly in France. The nun from the first movie, her name's Irene. I didn't remember any of this, even though I saw that first Nun movie in theaters. Now she's teamed up with Storm Reid. So Storm Reid's in this franchise now, which is a nice addition. Storm Reid's in lots of things, and she's doing a good job. So they're teaming up, and they got to go after the nuns back, because apparently in the previous one, they defeated the nun using the actual blood of Jesus Christ, which, wouldn't that be all dried up and coagulated and decayed by now?
Well, now the wine is the blood. You see? That's the whole idea.
Okay.
The wine is the blood.
Yeah. And...
yeah, also, put your school
the sacrament,
in an abandoned, really decrepit building, very hazardous, on top of many bottles of wine for a boarding school.
Yeah, because it used to be a winery. That makes a lot of
sense. And leave the wine all there for the girls. That makes a lot of sense, too.
Well, you gotta let it age.
You're 15 children or so that you have this whole school based upon, and you're one classroom and one hallway.
Okay, so they gotta team up and they gotta go after the nun because the nun's back on, causing problems again, this evil demon. And that's essentially the story.
At one point it was a snake or an eel.
What can I say about this?
I don't know.
Wasn't really for me. I'm not a horror person, but this definitely wasn't for me. In the first 15 minutes I found, it's not a spoiler, but in the first 15 minutes, they kept trying to scare everyone with jump scares. There's multiple jump scares within the first 10, 15 minutes. And I'm sitting there thinking, that's not how you make a scary movie. You don't want to just keep trying to get jump scares all the time. You got to build up tension, and it's got to be creepy. And
I like the first couple of minutes, but then it's just First couple minutes were good, then it went off the cliff.
Yeah. And I also like, we see in the trailer, the scene with the magazines. I thought that was fabulous, and that's in the trailer. That was the only good thing about the movie. But it's all over the place, really. And let's just let 2 young girls go and do all this work. Well, I guess the men don't want to do it, right? Because they're in charge. They don't want to put themselves in danger. Just send them along.
Well, it's the Catholic Church, right? I mean,
it was believable.
There's a lot of movies about the Catholic Church.
I don't think Catholics are going to like this. It didn't. Yeah, they're not going to like this. It was very sacrilegious. And I thought maybe they would try to save the nun. Maybe the nun, like, she was a nun. Maybe she has some goodness in her. I don't know. She's evil.
There's not much I can say about this movie without spoiling it. These movies are made for teenagers, I'm guessing. I mean, if you enjoy them, that's great. People who love horror movies are going to show up for this. We're not the target audience for this. You know, even adults who like horror movies, I talk to some people around town who like, because they're always asking me about movies, and they say they go see these movies and they love them, right?
I mean, they could have just worked a little bit more on it, and it could have been more cohesive. It needed just a little bit more work, and it could have made a lot more sense. Kind of jumped all around at first. I don't know. It just they didn't try very hard.
Oh well. What rating would you give this?
I really like the magazine scene. I really like the scene with the nun in the wall. I thought some of those, and the first couple of minutes with the kid and the wine, I thought those were really good. So for that, I'll give it a 55.
55, okay.
Yeah.
On the internet ratings, I give this a worst movie ever. Jeez, this wasn't good.
No, they didn't try.
Okay. Is this movie better or worse than Secret Invasion for you? I would say it's better than Secret Invasion because it's way shorter.
Yeah, it's shorter.
It's way shorter. Secret Invasion was way worse than this.
I still thought it had some good parts.
Because this was only an hour and 50 minutes. Okay. Spoilers. I'm going to put up the warning. I just want to spoil a couple of small things, okay? I'm not going to spoil everything. So there's a really funny moment. There's a couple of funny moments in this movie, although some aren't supposed to be funny. But there's a great funny moment in the middle with the nuns and the cab. Okay, and I thought that was hilarious.
That was that funny.
Okay, the nuns just steal this lady's cab in France, and they're just like, "Oh, we're nuns. Thank you very much," and they just take her cab, so they get away with it.
I like the attitude of the kid in the beginning, and there was a couple of funny things, but
there's at one point in this movie there is a goat demon, and you don't really see it. But you get a couple glimpses of it barely, and it looked ridiculous. As soon as I saw that thing's face, I couldn't help myself. Yeah. I started laughing.
Instead, this looks ridiculous. They should have just used like the cloven hoof burned into the floor.
Like, seriously, and they got a guy in a goat suit. Okay, and
I guess,
oh man,
I don't know.
They could have used a little bit better production values there.
The window thing was neat with the goat. I mean, but. Then what happened in the end was stupid with the goat. Anyway, again,
so really,
and I think I don't want to spoil anything. Satan's tomatoes at the end.
Oh yeah, those tomatoes. Those are don't eat those. Those tomatoes are the devil.
I think someone should have eaten one and just turned the smoke or something.
I don't know. This is a movie that we would have more fun just kind of making fun of it. But okay, anyway, no more spoils on that. I'm not gonna. It's not much you can spoil for the movie,
it had some good points, but then it had many not so good things. So, try harder next time.
Now this is actually from a few weeks ago, August 17th. The Guardian has an article on the nun actress. Because she's the actress who plays the nun.
Geez, she didn't have much to work with.
Well, she's just meant there to embody the character, right? Bonnie Aarons. It came out back in August that she's suing Warner Brothers.
Why?
Because Warner Brothers has made merchandise on the nun.
Okay.
Using her likeness.
Oh, yes.
So that it looks like her in the movie. And they make, and therefore she's supposed to get a cut of that every time they sell some of this merchandise. And her argument is that Warner Brothers is not being transparent with their sales figures and merchandising.
Oh.
So that she's saying they owe her money because they're using her likeness, and they're just lying and saying, oh, we haven't sold that many, so you don't get anything.
Oh, well, I mean,
so
I think that's what some of the strike is about. It's not about merchandise, but about AI. So they would take her likeness and use it in the future in other films. This is the problem with the AI problem. This is what the actors are having issues with, not just in merchandise, but that's what this AI thing is about. They could take what she looks like in this movie and just use the AI to put her in all the other movies without her even doing it and getting away with it, you know?
Yeah,
So
that's one of the things the strike is
Yeah.
about. And you know what? Things aren't going well for the AMPTP lately, and good,
No.
because you know what? Fuck those studios. Their executives. They're just
I don't know. I don't
all
wanna
the
get into
information that has come out that I've learned about how much profit their companies make and how much profit all their executives make, how much their pay packages are, and how little they're paying people. I have, you know,
Something has to
I've made
change.
my note. I've made my stance clear that I support the unions and I support the workers, both the WGA and SAG-AFTRA. So I hope things go really badly for the AMPTP, which is the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers.
Okay. Well, regardless of that, the nun lady is very scary. So I'll give her that. I don't think she says much.
Anyway,
I didn't understand the thing.
I didn't mention this
I didn't
back
see the
in
previous
August.
ones.
I didn't mention this news back in August because I figured it's not really something we don't cover a lot of news, but since we went and saw this movie. So that's our thoughts on The Nun 2, Cruise Control. Let us know what you think of The Nun 2. Did you like it? Are you a big fan of this stuff? And you know, if you loved it, great. I don't want to take that away from you or anyone. Let us know down in the comments below, please, and feel free to subscribe for more content.